What's going on, you guys? Today I'm here to tell you about books that I've enjoyed so much that I've given a 5-star rating to in 2026. I've read 12 books so far this year, halfway through the year, and 6 of those books I've given 5 stars. So let's get into them. First was a book I read in January, Finding My Way by Malala Yousafzai. This book is really good because someone who has been through so much pain and suffering and hardships in their life, you can see kind of light at the end of that tunnel. It's beautiful to look at how she adapts to Western culture, going to Oxford, going to college, meeting friends, trying food. You really get to see her gratitude for some of the most subtle things that we may take for granted, just because a lot of that was scripted from her at an early age, with her being attacked by the Taliban. Number 2 is a book I read also in January. It's Mother Mary Comes to Me by Arundhati Roy. This book was just full of grief, full of honesty, full of authenticity. This book shows how a parent and their child's relationship really plays an influence on the upbringing of that child and the life of that parent. This book taught me a lot about Indian culture and Indian geography. I did not realize how complex Indian politics were, Indian culture was. This is a memoir, but at times it feels like an autobiography in the way she formulates her narrative. Roy just writes in such a straightforward way that you feel in each line the compassion and the emotion that was invoked in her at that very moment. It's almost like she places you in that moment through your imagination. My next 5-star read of the year was Message to the Black Man in America by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I knew it was going to be a 5-star read just because I already was anticipating how much that it would enlighten me to things I didn't know about. This book goes into the depths of a religious doctrine and a belief system that is very influential, especially in Black American culture. I think before formulating an opinion or a perspective on the NOI, you definitely should read this book. This book is the starter kit, if you will, for getting to know about the NOI. My 4th 5-star read of the year was The Pearl That Broke His Shell by Nadia Hashimi. And this book is full of heartbreak, full of misogyny, full of truth. This book really showed me that the brutality of how characters are written sometimes are not exaggerations of reality. They actually are mirrors to reality. And I think Hashimi does a perfect job of this with her narrative. A lot of books invoke emotions of anger, sadness, annoyance. This book at times had me feeling all of those and more. This definitely was one of the most memorable 5-star reads that I had of the year, but it was really good. Next was Black Girl Lost by Donna Goins. And this book I also anticipated was going to be a 5-star. This book touches on a lot of heavy topics, so trigger warning. This book also opens the door for empathy, for realizing that our environments do have a direct effect on us and how we perceive things and the decisions that we do make. Even though we do have free will as human beings, the way in which we're socialized definitely plays a part on our behavior. And this book is definitely a reflection of that from beginning to end, quite literally. For those who have seen the film Queen and Slim, imagine Queen and Slim, but 70s Black America. And my last 5-star read halfway through this year was Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. And this book has so much depth. I just like to look at the juxtaposition of the characters. You got a character like Crooks who sees the ambition in each of the individuals that he meets. Crooks realizes that the humans that he encountered have a lack of discipline, and that essentially is their downfall. He also has accepted his identity in the society, feeling like an outcast, being a Black man in the era that he is in. This book personifies so many characteristics about life. Things like being unconscious of societal norms and the consequences for not conforming. Things like reaching a level that you can't go past and being stuck in a loop of mediocrity. This book was definitely worth the read, and as I read more, it got better for me, because I was going to give it 3 stars initially, but then the ending made me give it 5 stars. So this book was amazing. through 6 months of 2026, that was my 5-star reads for this year. And I'm hoping, really hoping, that I can get some more 5-star reads in the media that I choose to consume. Appreciate y'all for y'all time, and I'm out. I may have been happy